sank.
Certified organic. It's the label to look for when spending extra money on organic produce. Someone, somewhere, put their stamp of approval on it, assuring customers the produce is pesticide-free. But the I-Team found out no testing measures have been put into place since Congress made it law decades ago. It doesn't happen in this country, nor with produce imported from other countries. So we did some testing of our own, and tonight we have the results.
Apples, bell peppers.
Organics have grown
Carrots, pears.
into a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I feel like it's a better health option.
That's what some people think, but you might be surprised to know there are no studies that say organic foods are, in fact, healthier.
I think they taste more fresh.
Shoppers are even willing to pay 20 to 30% more for organic.
I'd rather be safe anyway and just put something that doesn't have pesticides in my body.
By definition, organic does not mean chemical-free.
Will Sumner has been a chemist for more than 35 years.
It just means that they're grown without the use of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers.
He tests produce for the government.
That doesn't mean that they're not toxic.
So is the more expensive organic food we buy safer than conventionally grown? The USDA's organic program admits they don't test food as it comes into the country, and officials say they only sporadically test samples across the country. But they're supposed to. Congress put into law the Organic Foods Production Act in 1990. It requires the Department of Agriculture to test organic produce and oversee third-party certifiers all around the world. Oversight for all organic growers who wish to get that USDA stamp of approval. But for 22 years now, that mandated routine testing has not happened. Miles McAvoy heads the program for the USDA.
Congress indicated that certifiers should be doing periodic residue testing, and that had never been established.
The Inspector General did this audit in 2010. That's when McAvoy found out his agency had never set up any testing procedures as required by law. So we did. The I-Team joined with 10 of our sister stations across the country, went to various stores, and focused on imported organic produce. We bought a wide variety, each station buying different products. The samples from across the country were shipped overnight to the same lab in California. In total, the lab tested 33 different types of imported organic produce for us. Our results? 12% had pesticide residues. An additional 10% had trace amounts. All but one within government standards.
Most of the residues you're going to be finding are not unsafe.
What the lab did find was small amounts of toxins that come from the soil. Soil that was sprayed with deadly chemicals like DDT, banned years ago. Some farmers use chemicals when they are not supposed to and commit outright fraud. But more often, the problem is cross-contamination.
There's a lot of different compounds out there, and these are all drifting in different directions.
All of our organic produce that tested positive for residues came from Mexico. Mini pumpkins, yellow squash, and tomatoes had small amounts of pesticides and would be allowed for sale by the USDA. Fresh basil had a fungicide, which Sumner said was not legal for organics, and the FDA would make all retailers pull that product from their shelves.
Now, the government is finally setting up testing. The I-Team found a memo from the USDA requiring all third-party certifiers to start testing 5% of operating farms, both here and abroad, this year. Our investigation and the USDA does show there are far less pesticides, but there are no studies that show organics are more nutritious or healthier. Simply washing your food can remove about 50% of residue.